Your mathematics exam 17 February is so close, so you all need a rapid revision of entire chapter, my dear. Give me 10 minutes of your life, I'll be giving you complete revision of polynomials just in 10 minutes. I will be teaching you every topic of polynomials, nature of polynomial, graphical representation, relation between zeros and coefficient, quadratic polynomial, everything just in 10 minutes. If you all are still worried in polynomials, come here, watch this magical video I have made up especially for you all. Hello to all class 10th champions. So my dear champions, how does it feel to remember 17 February? 17 February is so close. I know you guys are preparing for that battle that is going to be held on 17 February. Don't worry, I'm here. You guys need quick revision, rapid fire revision to cover up your entire syllabus, because 17 February is so close, my dear. So this is the truth. I'm not demotivating you at all. This is the truth. So you all required quick revision for entire syllabus, and that is why I have brought up very important session of polynomials. So just in 8 to 10 minutes I'll be covering up complete polynomials. So watch this magical session. So what is called polynomials, my dear? So polynomials, basically a polynomial is an algebraic expression with variables. Variable is what, my dear? Variable is what? Variable is called x and y, whose values varies, and coefficient is called, coefficient is the number, a number which is attached with variable, like this here. 3 is the coefficient of x square, because x square is the variable, x is variable. 5 is the coefficient of x, but here there is no variable, so this is called pure constant, right, my dear? Variable coefficients and non-negative whole number. Yes, my dear, power must be non-negative and whole number. If the power is in fraction form or negative form, that will not be polynomial. That will not be polynomial at all. So power must be the power, the coefficients, you know, the exponents must be non-negative and whole number. So look, I am having some example here. 3x square minus 5x plus c. Yes, this is polynomial. Why this is polynomial, my dear? Because the power is whole number. You can see the power is 2. The power is 2 here, and the power of this variable is 1. Right? So this is whole number, and this is called coefficient. Now if we talk about second polynomial, again the power of this variable is 3. This is called power, or you can say exponent, and this is also. So there is a very, you know, sensitive line between power and exponent. So you guys can call this exponent. That will be the mathematically approved. So this is the exponent and this is exponent. Both are positive and whole number. So this is also an example of polynomial. But if we talk about 2 by x, look, the 2 by x can be written as, the power is 1. So if we take this x to power 1, you know, in up with 2, so this will be 2x to power minus 1. So the power has become negative, and this is, you know, violating the rule of polynomial. It cannot be polynomial. Now if we talk about 4 root x, so this will also not be polynomial, because after removing the root we can write here x to power half plus 5, and look, this half is not a whole number, this is fractional number, so this will not be polynomial. Now if we talk about 5x to power 2, here is x to power 2. If we bring x to power here, so the power will become negative, minus 2, and if x to power minus 2 is there, so this will not be polynomial. So for polynomial, the exponents must be non-negative with whole number, right? Now moving to PYQ based on this theory. So which of the following is a polynomial? This question has been asked twice in year 2019, 2022 in MCQ category. So look at the question. So which will be the polynomial? This will not be polynomial. Why? The power, look at here, x to power 2. So x to power 2 will become x to power minus 2, which is violating the rule of polynomial. Now if we talk about under root x, so under root 2, and if we remove root, so x to power half will be there, and this is also violating the rule of polynomial, because the exponents must be whole number, so it will not be polynomial. Now if we talk about this, so x square plus 3 x to power 3 by 2, and here is x root 2, means x to power half, so half will subtract here. Now if we subtract half, x square plus 3x, if we subtract 3 by 2, 1 by 2 from 3 by 2, which number will be there? 2 by 2, which is 1. 2 by 2 will be there, and 2 by 2 can also be written as 1. So this is polynomial. This is not polynomial because this is the rational function. This is called a rational function. One variable one variable x minus one function is in numerator and x plus 1 is in denominator. So this is called rational function, and rational function is not polynomial. So only third will be the polynomial, C will be the polynomial. I hope you are getting my point. Is it clear, my dear? Now moving to next slide. So degree of polynomial. What is called degree of polynomial? My dear champion, the highest power, you can say the highest exponent of the variable, you can also say. So the highest power of the variable in the polynomial is called degree. My dear, look, here the first example, only number is there, no variable is there. So you can imagine why the variable is not there. The power might be 0. If I am writing x to power 0, it implies x to power 0 means 1. So that is why the 7x to power 0 can also be written as only 7. It implies the degree is 0. Now if we talk about 4x minus 1, this is the power, this is the variable. So the power is 1, which is called degree. If we talk about in this equation, variable is here also and variable is here also. But we always consider only the highest power. Look at the highest power of variable. So in x square and x, here is power 1. So which will be considered for degree? 2 will be considered. In this equation, variable is here also and variable is here also. But which consider? The highest power. This is called degree. This is 0, 1 and 2. This is called degree. The highest power of variable is called degree. Now look at the PYQ reference. From this particular theory, the question has been asked in board exam in the year 2018 and 2020. What is the question? Find the degree of the polynomial. Question is given here. So the answer will be what? What will be the answer? Where is variable? Variable is here and variable is here. X is there also and here also. Right? So which will be the highest power? 2 will be the highest power. So the degree will be 2. Answer. So the degree will be 2 because the highest degree is 2. Okay. Now moving to the next portion, types of polynomial by degree. See, my dear, we can categorize the polynomial according to number of terms. You all know monomial, binomial and trinomials. I'm not talking about that term. That is the basic one. From 10th standard point of view, the by degree segregation is important. How you can categorize the polynomials on the basis of degree. So first polynomial, linear polynomial, here the degree will be 1. Look at, the graph will always be a straight line. Whenever you draw linear equation, there will be a straight line. Either the straight line will be, there is a chapter pair of linear equation in 2 variable. So there are 2 linear equations. So whenever you draw that lines, sometimes lines are parallel to each other, sometimes they intersect each other, sometimes they coincident each other. So linear equation means a straight line. So linear polynomial always give you a straight line, and number of zeros will be what? Only 1 0. Because the degree is 1. Degree decides the number of solution. So PYQ reference, find the 0 of the polynomial 2x minus 3. So how many zeros will be there? Only 1 zeros will be there because the degree is 1. So we can find out 2x minus 3, we can put equals to 0. So 2x will be 3. So here x will be equal to 3 by 2. This is the zeros. This is the value which satisfy the equation. Now quadratic polynomial. Quadratic means the degree will be 2 because the highest power is 2 and a should not be equal to 0. If a will become equal to 0, this family will be vanished. So the identity of quadratic equation will also be deleted. So a cannot be equal to 0. Never. A cannot be equal to 0. Right. Now on graphical representation, quadratic equation, quadratic polynomial will give you parabolic structure. Means when you draw the equation, so equation will be like this. The graph will be like this, means it will be intersecting the x-axis if the polynomial in terms of x. This is the general form. So it will be intersecting the x-axis at 2 points, and it implies 2 zeros will be there. The point of intersection will give you the number of zeros. If this curve will be intersecting at 3 points, it means the graph is of cubic polynomial, 3 zeros will be there. Is it clear? So on graph, parabolic structure will be there. And if we talk about number of zeros, so there are 3 possibilities, my dear. In quadratic polynomial, 3 possibilities are there. So for 0, no roots, d less than 0 means d will be negative, and d is called discriminant, which is equals to b square minus 4ac. Okay, if d is less than 0 means d is negative, no roots will be there. 2 real and equal roots. This situation is also possible when d become equal to 0, and 2 distinct real zeros means both the roots will be different from each other. When this condition occurs, when discriminant is greater than 0, means D is positive. Now, PYQ reference, the number of zeros, look at the question, my dear. This is the question asked in the year 2022. You all can see the question here. The number of zeros of the polynomial y equals to px means here the polynomial is given in x form. We have to find out the number of zeros. So look, my dear, the point of intersection on x-axis is the number of zeros. Always make sure the point of intersection. So how many point of intersection? But make sure on x-axis, not on y-axis, because the polynomial is in the form of x. So how many zeros will be there? 4 zeros will be there. This question might you get this year also, basis of graph, on the basis of graph, my dear. So the number of point of intersection will decide the number of zeros. Now moving to next part, relationship between zeros and coefficient. So my dear, in quadratic equation, if this is quadratic equation and alpha and beta are the zeros, so alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. This is the very important. The sum of zeros is minus b by a. Similarly, if we multiply the zeros, so the multiplication of zeros is equal to c by a. This is very important, my dear. One of the most important portion for board 2026. This is the most important portion for your board 2026. Now, if you have already given zeros, if you already know the zeros, you guys can form the quadratic polynomial also by using this formula, x square minus sum of zeros plus product of zeros equals to 0. For example, like alpha is 2 and beta is 3, means 2 zeros I am giving you. So what will be the quadratic polynomial for this? So we can calculate x square minus sum of zeros means 2 plus 3 x plus product of zeros into 2 into 3 is 6. So answer will be x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. This will be the polynomial. This will be the polynomial. The zeros will be 2 and 3. So by using this, we can find out the quadratic polynomial if the roots are already given to you. Now moving to next part. Look at, if alpha and beta are the zeros, these are the some special formulas, my dear, very important special formulas. If alpha and beta are the zeros of any quadratic polynomial, you guys can find out the value of alpha square plus beta square, under root alpha plus under root beta, 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, alpha cube plus beta cube, alpha minus beta, and this. When the alpha and beta will be the roots of any quadratic polynomial, right? So look at the PYQ from the year 2013. The quadratic polynomial is given here and we have to find out the value of alpha square plus beta square. So alpha square plus beta square can be written as this here. So alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta, and look, my dear, alpha plus beta is what? Sum of roots. So you all know alpha plus beta, its sum of root will be minus b by a, because this is the quadratic equation, right? And alpha into beta will be what? C by a, right? Now you can put here minus b by a whole square minus 2 into c by a, right? Now calculate here b square by a square minus 2ca by a. Can we take LCM? So the LCM will be a square, so a will go there, so ab square minus this will be only a square is there, so b square will be remain as it is, and here is a, but the LCM is a square, so a will multiply there. So this will be the answer. Alpha square plus beta square will be this, b square minus 2ac by a square. So this is very important formula, my dear. Please take a screenshot, or you can copy this formula in your notebook and go through this formula again and again, my dear, before sitting in examination hall for polynomials. Now, okay, so now we are having some PYQs. So there are 2 PYQs, but I am giving you one for your homework and one I'll be doing here for you. So let's do second question. I'm doing second question, which is a recent question from previous year 2025. Look at the question. So basically, my dear, y square minus 5y plus 3 equals to 0. This is your polynomial, quadratic polynomial. But we have to find out the value of this, my dear. So what you need to do here, look, my dear, alpha power 4 beta cube plus alpha cube beta cube. Do one thing, take common from both. What we can take common? So common will be alpha cube and beta cube, right? So if I am taking alpha cube beta cube, here is power 4 alpha, 1 alpha will be there, right? Plus We have taken alpha cube common, beta to power 4, so beta cube, so beta will be there. So we can write here alpha cube beta cube as alpha beta cube, and this will be alpha plus beta. I hope you are getting. So what I did here, see, by modifying this whole format, I have expressed this format in the form of product of zeros and sum of zeros. This should be the target. If such question comes in your exam, so always try to modify the format in the form of product of zeros and sum of zeros. Then only you can put the values. Now this is alpha into beta, and from this equation, if we find alpha plus beta, so alpha plus beta is minus b by a, so minus 5 by a, so alpha plus beta will be positive 5, and alpha beta is what? C by a, so C is what? 3, so 3, and a is what? 1, so alpha beta will be 3. Now you have both the values, put the values here. So answer will be alpha into beta will be 3, so 3 cube into alpha plus beta is what? Here is 5, so 3 cube will be 3 into 3 into 3, I think 27 is there, into 5, so answer will be 7 5 are 35, carry 5, carry 3, 5 2 are 10, and this 135 is the answer. So whenever such question comes up in the form of roots, alpha and beta are the roots, so always try to modify this whole format in the form of alpha into beta, means product of roots and sum of roots. That's why I have given you here, this is very important formula. This is the way how you can express this in the terms of sum of zeros, product of zeros, sum of zeros, product of zeros, sum of zeros, product of zeros, sum of zeros, product of zeros. Thank you so much for watching this polynomial. Stay blessed, stay sparkling. Bye bye.